Welcome to the show your parents, the PTA and the asleep don't want you to hear, the Helios blog. Today, Kevin Samuels tries to answer the question, why are modern women so single? Tough question.
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
Good. How are you?
Good. What do you got for me?
Yeah. So I went to a women's college, and I just remember.
First up, your name and how old are you?
Yeah, my name is Sydney, and I'm 25.
Okay. What do you got?
So I went to a women's college, and I remember just one of the major things that they would tell us all the time is that one, gender was a social construct. Two, that women didn't need men. And three, that women could literally just beat men at everything.
Perfect.
And that's what we should do. And it took me years after I graduated college 3 years ago to really undo all that programming, because it's literally what it is.
Well, it's becoming even worse on modern campuses. That's why many are fleeing college campuses.
Indeed.
It's but you know what? I'm gonna stay away from, the social politic and the campus, but we're gonna stick on the fact of dating and relationships. This is what women were sold. I don't doubt that this is what happened on college. So how's it impacting you now in your quest to date and mate?
Well, yeah. Well, I think I definitely see it with my mom. Like, she watches so many of these TV shows that are saying.
But what about you though?
With me, well, I was definitely not prioritizing like dating men or anything like that. So I really had to think about. I actually am not on that path to like be working in the workforce or anything like that. I realized that my priority had to be on being able to like just be a wife, right? So like being.
Are you seeing anybody right now?
Not right now, no.
Okay, you ladies a lot of you ladies just sound like you. When I talk about relationships, you guys just sound so uncomfortable, and it's like I asked you how to speak Chinese. It's like, and that's unfortunate because men are on the other side, and you guys are going to have to put. You have a degree, a bachelor's, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put twice the work, 3 times the work you did into getting the bachelor's to get a man.
Yeah.
Because you don't seem to speak the language. And the first thing I asked is about you, and you start talking about your mom. Your mom has made her choice. At 25, you either decide to learn what we are, what we value, what matters to us, get curious and approach it like your hair's on fire, or be one of the 4 that ends up, or be in the 3 out of the 4 that ends up alone.
Literally.
Hold on. Here we go. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, you got your camera all over the place. Unmute yourself. Yeah, there's some dude in the background. No, I'm not trying to hear this. They're tripping. All right, if you're gonna come on, you need to be on and be prepared to go. I'm not trying to have what to say. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Your first name?
Stacy.
What do you got for me?
Yeah, I just wanted to share. I'm 46.
Okay.
I'm single and I'm single, and this is very true. I was taught. I was born in 75, and so me growing up in going to college in the 90s and things like that, it was taught to be independent and things like that. Go for your dreams, follow your dreams. Don't get married, especially don't settle. That was just like the emphasis. Don't settle, don't settle, don't settle. I'm 46 years old and I'm single. My choices are beyond limited.
Indeed.
Don't have any choices. It's pretty much over for me. And I just wanted to share that everything that that interviewer said was so true. It was pure propaganda. It was Feminism 101.
Appreciate it, Mom.
And
I
yes,
got to get to somebody else. Hold on. Let me get to somebody else
sorry.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
That's that.
Oh, hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
What do you got for me?
I do want to just comment on, I jumped in at the last minute, but did want to comment on the panel that was happening and so much that's going on today. But I also see, I see feminism like at its height. And two, I see a lot of women, especially Black women recognizing how it's failed all of us and is failing us as a whole in our community. And
Yep.
I'm also kind of proud to say that in my community in Sacramento, I know that I, as well as some of my other female friends and family members, have kind of made a concerted effort to kind of change the narrative.
Yeah, we're special and different, and we're not like the rest. Look at how special we are. Why don't you choose us? It's literally every single girl that comes on the show. And
be more deliberate about championing our Black men. And just supporting them in business.
Hold on, Summer. Hold on. If you're in the chat room on the call and you have a disagreement, raise your hand because I want to get to the people who may not be on the same page, and answer some questions because you said you're 39.
I am, yes.
Any children?
I have 3 children.
Have you ever been married?
I have. I've been divorced now for about 5 years.
Are you married to their father?
Yes.
Well, you're in the one out of you in the 1 out of 4. So at least you can say you were.
Yeah. No, I was.
Right.
I've had a few proposals, but I think I need as a woman to educate myself more on what my own shortcomings are. And more prepare myself to be an actual valuable partner to someone before I'm ready to jump back in there.
Appreciate it. All right. So here's what I need. Here's what I need from you guys. If you're on and you want to get on, if you have a question, you got to kind of get to the point. Oh, this woman's called in before. I've seen you before. Wow. All right. If your camera is on, I'm going to the people who have their camera on first. Go ahead.
Hi.
How old are you?
I'm 25. My name is Chelsea.
Okay, what do you got for me?
I guess I just more so have a comment. I've been watching your videos for the past couple weeks, and I know you stress a lot that we should, as women, we should start, what's the word I'm trying to find? We should start aspiring to marriage and working towards being a wife or trying to, we should actively be pursuing that young. But from my experience, I just find that, and it may be the area that I'm in, a lot of, or from the men that I've come in contact with, that's not what they're on. Like, that's not
what they're... Are you in
college? Not anymore.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to University of Arkansas.
There are plenty of Black men at University of Arkansas.
I'm not saying it's not eligible bachelors. I just feel like and it could be the dating pool or the people who I'm aspiring to want to be with, that type of man.
So
they're not necessarily.
It almost sounds like you're making an argument that the men aren't ready for marriage.
Yeah.
I feel as though with the age group that I'm in, I haven't really come across a lot of men that are ready to settle down.
Hold on. You're 25?
Yes.
What's the oldest man you've ever dated?
Probably like 30.
Right.
It's funny that you can hear the dog in the background.
And you were how old?
I was 24, so this was last year.
So I'm sorry that, first of all, in our community, women want men to be around the same age and making 6 figures or more. Men start looking to get married after 35. So looking for a man in your 20s, yeah, it makes sense you're not going to find somebody because he's still out here working, trying to become a even able to produce for a wife and kids.
Yep.
So, yes, this is why I stress that you ladies got to start being more realistic and putting yourself in a position. Are you still in Arkansas? You muted yourself. Hello?
Yes, I'm still in Arkansas. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's going to have and the next question I'm going to ask, what kind of lifestyle do you want to have? How many kids do you want to have? All these other things. And Arkansas it's one of the worst states in the union. Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi are always fighting for the bottom 3 spots. So if you want a successful black man, Arkansas is not necessarily the place to go get them.
Okay.
So I don't know why this is the reality I need you ladies to start understanding. They told you were sold that these successful men are all over the place, and I left. There's nothing in Arkansas that's really appealing. And no diss to the people in Arkansas, but you know what it is.
Yeah, I know.
So why are you still there?
I guess
because it's convenient.
Probably comfort. If anything, I done got comfortable here.
Guess what? Because you're about 2 years from the danger zone. And I'm sorry. The thought process of, well, the men aren't on my level and the men aren't ready and this and that doesn't matter when time is run out. You ladies are going to have to put yourself in a position and go to places and areas where the kind of men you want are. If you want a different outcome. If you don't, then it is what it is. The halls of whatever, your numbers, your microphone's not on. Unmute yourself. Miss something or other.
Hey, Uncle Kev, how are you?
Hello. Do you have a disagreement?
I have more like an addition because I don't want to credit everything. I believe in the fact of...
Well, how old are you, by the way?
27.
Okay. Go ahead. Hello? What happened to you? She muted herself. All right, so here's what I need. I need the people who have questions or disagreements to pop up because we can't just have the same, hey, I agree. Here's the problem. Many of you ladies, even the ones that do agree, you're still not willing to do what it takes to make yourself viable for your outcomes. Meaning, like I spoke with the previous caller, when you're in Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Oklahoma, these places are not overrunning with, rich, successful men.
It must be extremely high. I don't think I believe that's pretty true and accurate.
The stat they're talking about is the out of wedlock, or how many women are married or not married. And you're going to see these two different ideologies basically had come together and inserted that word into the women's movement and then changed the words to reproductive choice. Because there is no way you can tell women to postpone marriage, have sex without babies, without making work, and free sex not a big deal. That's what goes on. And so later on, Suzanne reads a section from Sue Ellen's book about the sexual revolution, where the women's movement became intertwined with the popular sphere of young women that believing liberation means going to college, pursuing a career, postponing marriage and motherhood, and to be as sexually active as possible with no strings attached. This has led to so much pain for women. Now, let's bring it all home. That was the birth of the PhD. That's the birth of all this. Telling women, hey, it's your right. It's liberation. The evil patriarchy. All that stuff. Well, let's fast forward it, shall we? Let's fast forward and see what happens later on. I'm going to play something from a clip from a channel here on YouTube. Shout out to them. I'm going to use audio from them. It's Grapevine. Grapevine. And I'm going to start right here.
I'm going to first start to talk about the statistics that come out saying that 70% of Black women are single. Is that a myth? Do you think that's true? Who wants?
This was 4 years ago. Now, that woman who was one of the writers, major writers, she left Cosmo in '83. But the damage was done. She talks about how she finally started coming to terms with the damage she had caused in 2003 when she converted to Catholicism and started seeing all these women living these Sarah Jessica Parker Sex and the City lives and seeing all the damage that it caused with women not doing what she, basically what they were sold to do. And she said, I had to come clean. Understand, this woman, the writer of this, was married for 40 years. And the woman that hired her, married 50 years, out promoting having sex with married men. But she said, if you try to sleep with my husband, I kill you. Listen.
I think it's unbelievably high. Okay. But do you see that in your everyday life, that that's the case?
Every time I try to holler at a girl, that must be extremely high. I don't think I believe that's pretty true and accurate.
The stat they're talking about is the out of wedlock, or how many women are married or not married. And you're going to see that, well, let's just get right to it. What typically happens when women tend to hear stats that they don't like, they're starting to question the stat. Here we go.
Between the ages of 18 to 30.
I researched before. I'm not sure if it's single or unmarried, but we'll link it at the bottom. Go ahead, Sheryl. Wait, I'm sorry. One person at a time. Go ahead, Sheryl.
It is unmarried.
It's unmarried.
The statistic is actually skewed. It's 70% of Black women between the ages of 18 to 34
are unmarried.
Imagine 18-year-olds. Which that's what a lot of people are saying, that it's a skewed statistic.
70% is crazy.
Because
of course, anytime you hear something that you don't like, we're going to question the stat. Pay very close attention to.
It's a bad agent, right? A person who's trying to, nullify truth.
What's about to happen.
Most people from the age of 18 to 34
are unmarried. But I think also, like, back in the day, like, people were getting married at 23. Like, my mom got married at 23.
Your average American nowadays gets married at 20. Your average woman gets married at 26 or 27. And your average male, I want to say, gets married at like 28 or 29.
Okay, so knowing that, do you feel like there's like a stigma as a Black woman when you're like single, or just because of all these studies that come out, all these videos, all these questions about
fair use? The stigma that goes along, I'll let her go ahead and say this.
Yeah.
The focus is more so on Black women, and we're not looking.
Yeah, we're going to go on to the next part. They're going to go in to talk about the stigma and all this other kind of stuff. A bunch of pandering instead of dealing with the reality of what goes on.
As a whole, like.
Your degree.
Here we go.
I'm sorry, Sharon, just let Sakina go.
I was going to say that I think that the focus of women, between ages 18 to 34 is also very different. Like, you don't finish your degree until you're, 20, 22. And then if you go on.
Yeah, because it's all about your degree, because you have your priorities wrong.
In grad school, now you're 24, you're 26, and then you're a working professional. So I think the focus of millennials, especially Black millennials, is very different. We're traveling, we're working in corporate environments, we're entrepreneurs, so I think.
Suzanne reads a section from Sue Ellen's book, talks about how the sexual revolution and the women's movement became intertwined in the popular sphere that young women believe that liberation means to go to college, pursue a career, postpone marriage, motherhood, become sexually as active as possible with no strings attached, and how this has led to so much pain for women. Traveling, turning up.
Some of them is turning up. So I think the focus is different and not necessarily on getting married right now.
But what I will say is that when I like go into certain situations and I see like my white female counterparts, everybody has a ring.
Indeed.
That's it. You can say what you want to, but you go around and you see your non-black counterparts, and they're doing all the stuff that black women are doing, plus they got a ring.
They got the ring. Exactly. Because they're not idiots.
Plus they got a ring. Plus they got a ring.
No matter if they're like starting at 24, and it's not necessarily the case with my black female counterpart.
Well,
I agree
Go ahead,
with,
Donovan.
I agree with Ashley.
Of course, here we have the best in simp talk. And this is another thing. Here comes the panda bear to go in and question all the other stuff. And that is what has happened. Panda bears were big 4 years ago. But panda bears aren't helping because panda bears
indeed
ain't got nothing for you except more pandering.
Yep.
The reality is what just happened.
Okay, Seren, did you want to say something?
A few things.
Okay.
So to kind of piggyback off what you said, which is what I was already going to say, once black women hit 34 and above, the number actually rises dramatically. I think it's like 80%.
You better come with the statistics.
Or 90%.
Yes.
Why is it? I do.
80%
This woman just said that, yeah, those skewed stats, but once they go from 35 to 34 to 35, the number of unmarried black women dramatically rises to 80 or 90% married. And this other woman, as on cue, says, you better come with the stats. The propaganda has worked.
Yep.
80 to 90% of black women are married over age 35. And you got women in here saying, yeah, the numbers are wrong. The stats are wrong.
For anyone that doesn't know, I'm on YouTube and actually did a video on this. So 80%, or it might even be higher than that, 90% of
That's called an appeal to authority, except you're appealing to yourself, narcissist.
black women 34 and above are married or have been married at least
Who made the
once.
stat? Okay. I
Going
did.
off what you said about white women getting married at a
Disaster.
younger age, 50 or 60% of first marriages that when you get married before 25 end in divorce. So people are getting married younger, but they have a higher chance of divorcing. When
How many times do you hear women who have a problem with my platform parroting this stuff right here? This woman says, yeah, I did a video on it. Yeah, a wrong video.
Wrong video.
Telling 30. So don't worry. When you're all the way up in no man's land, all of a sudden, the marital numbers just automatically jump to 80, 90%.
Yeah, it's just, let me tell you sweet lies so you feel better, and then you get screwed.
8 or 9 out of 10 black women all of a sudden get married when just a year before, 70 to 80% of you were unmarried. And they didn't even think to question the number because it felt good to hear it. And no one pushes back on this. 4 years ago, there was no one to push back on this. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Go look in the comment section. And it's littered with women destroying men. Ladies, the propaganda worked to where you even got women saying, oh yeah, the numbers are off.
get married below 30, like there's a much higher chance. And I know a lot of white girls that do get married they get married at 23 and they're divorced by 29, and then they're on to their second marriage.
To the second marriage.
Yeah,
that's true.
And in terms of who black men want to date and stuff like that, as of 2014, 86% of black men that were married to black women. So you actually
can we just clap about that? Yeah, I love it.
Listen to the selective
happy party
hearing. 70% aren't married between 18 and 30. We're going to question the stat. But automatically, between over age 35, they get married at a rate of 80 to 90%. And then when they are married, they're marrying black women. Yay! When you look around this room and all of them are single, and I would be willing to, and I would love for Grapevine to respond. I would love to hear how many women from this platform in 2016 are married since this video dropped. Back then, men could not say anything because they would be shouted down. But you could just heard, just in that much of listening to that, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But let somebody tell you what you want to hear, and you'll clap on cue.
Have a stencil for the men that they want, you know, and that's kind of what impedes the development of a family. Like, you know, oh, he gotta have a job, he gotta have a car, and it has to have teeth. No. But if I could finish my point,
let Valar finish.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, I'm being facetious, but they do kind of hold it to a certain stencil. You know what I mean? So I feel like men
fluid and flexible. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, they should. I'm not.
Freaking disaster. Yeah, let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all notifications, drop me a donation. Like Hunter, M, Adrian, Tom, and Bobby, Dylan, Renaissance, Press, Brian, Andrew, and Alan. Shout out to you, most recent purchaser of Strategist Guide to Seduction. Thank you. Go buy my books at bit.ly/heliosbooks. My content can be early access to my Patreon. That's patreon.com/theheliosblog. If you'd like me to give you good advice, email me. That's my email right there, theheliosblog@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. Really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.